Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Reach Talk Radio. You know what? I'm so excited to be with you. It seems like I haven't been with you in so long, but I'm just happy to be back again. I hope you all are doing well. And I am your host, Ebony White, and I'm also accompanied by my co host, Samantha Nephew. Hello, Samantha.
Hey, I feel the same way. It feels like it's been a while.
Right. So, of course, we're missing Stan the Man Martin today, but he is out vacationing because it is definitely well deserved. He is one of the hardest working community men out here, just doing everything that he possibly can to really impact our community for the greater good. So I'm going to turn it on over to Samantha, and we're just excited about our show today. And I just want to kind of give you a reminder, if this is the first time that you've been with us, you want to say, what is Reach Talk? Reach Talk, and Reach is really the acronym for racial and ethical approaches to community health, right? So we deal with a host of things in our community with a priority population of our African American, Latinx, and Hispanic communities to really improve as a whole collectively in areas maternal health, tobacco cessation, also diabetes, community clinical linkages, and nutrition. So these are our areas, but we know all areas are so well connected, and it's just a circle of things. And we really do this work full throttle, whole person, whole community, and at hand. So Samantha, take it away. You see, I just was just trying to get it all out. There's so much to tell, but I'm super excited. So, let's go.
Absolutely. And thank you for that, Ebony. So I'm actually really excited about our guest today. Like I said, it feels like it's been a while. I love these talks about, things that affect the social determinants of health and all of these things that we talk about to make, whole healthy people, whole healthy communities. And I'm really excited about our guest today, Deirdre Wright. I'm excited because there's more of an environmental approach to this, which is something that I'm really passionate about on the side, outside of my work. So with that said, I want to introduce Deirdre Wright, who is the Director of Environmental Stewardship, and I will let her go ahead and introduce herself to our guests. Oh, you got to take yourself off mute.
Okay, my name is Deirdre Wright, and this is actually my first time on the show and my first time seeing the show. And Ebony is such a good friend of mine, so I have to make sure I come back and visit again. So I am the Director of Environmental Stewardship, as Samantha said, and I have to say that this whole environmental thing, Sam, is new for me. So at the beginning of the year, I didn't really know much about environmental stewardship at all. So that's an interesting fact about me. I've been in nonprofit for a long time. It's been over 20 years, Jericho Road, and I was also with AmeriCorps for about 8 years each. So I've been doing this nonprofit community thing for a long time, and it's awesome to be in a whole new realm that's kind of coming up on the rise in Buffalo.
So, because it was new to you, which was new to me when you shared with me, like, I'm going to take on this new opportunity. I'm like, what is that? So what is environmental stewardship? What does that look like? What does that encompass? So to our viewers, I've always asked you to bring a pen and a pad, okay? Because you're going to need to take notes. You're going to need to take notes. So I just want you to break it down to us, and we're going to bear with you, and we're going to listen closely as you share with us. What exactly is that? What does that entail?
Okay, so because I'm new at this, I break it down on a very basic level. So that's good that you told everybody to take notes. So we live in the city of Buffalo. I'm going to first explain green infrastructure. So when it rains in Buffalo, we all have smelled that sewage smell. We've seen the flooding in some parts of the area. Those are examples of what happens when there's excess storm water. So whether it's rain or snow, whatever, it backs up and the sewer authority gets overwhelmed. This happens because there's not enough natural or planted green spaces. So it could be rooftop gardens. It could be all the wonderful gardens you see people planting around here, heavy wooded areas. Those are things that would capture that water and help divert it and store it before it overwhelms the system. There's also man-made things that could help with that. There's rain barrels, there's porous pavement. Sometimes you'll see pavement with like little holes in it, and that helps to capture some of that water as well. Also diverting it so the system doesn't get overwhelmed. So that's why you smell that. So that green infrastructure helps our environment. It's really important for all of us, even though a lot of us don't know what it is. Green infrastructure maintenance department at the sewer authority, they have been tasked just the past couple of years with developing an entire department that's going to plant, grow, create spaces around the area so that that doesn't keep happening. I'm sure all of us have kind of seen or heard stories about all the flooding they had in New York City, where the water was like going down into the subway. That New York City is like concrete. It's concrete jungle. So when it rains, where's all that water going to go? And don't forget, we have people flushing our toilets and washing hands and taking baths. All of that is going into a combined sewer system. All the water goes into one place. So you can imagine, imagine Super Bowl Sunday. They actually make a joke out of this, but it's true. Super Bowl Sunday, you call it the big flush, because at halftime, everybody goes to the bathroom and all that water goes at the same time. When somebody first told me that, I'm like, what? But it's true. So what we do affects our environment. It impacts the environment. So green infrastructure helps divert and store and infiltrate the water in the natural ways. So the department at the Buffalo Sewer Authority, they're trying to come up with ways to change that, to fix it. And the maintenance department decided they wanted to come up with a program that would train young people to work in that field. And that's where we came in. So we are a workforce development program of stewardship, taking care of something that matters. And that's what stewardship is. It's taking care of something that's very important and valuable. That's our environment. So this is green infrastructure, environmental stewardship. And we recruit young people to come in and train with the Buffalo Sewer Authority staff for 8 months on how to maintain those structures. How's that?
Whoa.
I was working hard on that, I'm telling you.
And you did that. So
yeah.
I'm definitely so okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now someone might say, well, what does green infrastructure have to do with social determinants of health? Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
The basic way of saying and someone say, what are social determinants of health?
Okay.
The place where you live, play, and grow. So you just heard Deirdre share about the infrastructure that we don't have, that we need to have in place, in the place where we live, play, and grow. Wow.
Wow. Real quick, I live blocks away from Niagara Street. And when she was talking about the smell when the sewer is overrun, I live blocks from Niagara Street, from the foot of ferry. Yeah, it definitely wafts all over the place, especially in the spring or in the summertime. Oh, it's the worst.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's why this work is so important. And I know that you so the next thing I want to who is eligible to participate in this program? So you said young people, young men and women. And because I got a little more knowledge about when you lifted this program up and, developed it and outlined it and had this crew. So I have a little understanding, but we'll get into it. So who's eligible to be a part of this program?
Yeah, it seems so easy, but it's hard to find folks to get into the position. So really, yes, young women, please. There's another program in Philly that we're modeling ourselves after, and they have got some sisters in that program who are crew leaders, and they don't look like construction men. They look like cute girls, like y'all too. They're cute. They got their nails done, and they're crew leaders. So we do want young women and young men between the ages of 18 and about 30. If we get somebody who's awesome and they're 32, That's fine. But generally, we're looking at young adults. They have to be out of high school though, because they are enrolled as AmeriCorps members, and AmeriCorps does not take away that high school piece. That's really important. It's an education program. So, high school diploma or GED. There is a background check. If you have specific questions surrounding that, then I'd be more than happy to answer offline if somebody's interested. They have to be available from March of 2022 through October, Monday through Friday. And we would prefer if they were city residents as well. Some of these folks are going to be going into the Buffalo Sewer Authority for employment. So as you know, the city of Buffalo, you have to be a city resident in order to work there. So if someone came into the program, we're going to be looking at recruiting 8 people. If somebody came into the program and they didn't work in the city, we would have to work with them to find employment outside of the Buffalo Sewer Authority, which is fine because they probably won't be taking all 8. You know, they're coming in, recruiting them like October, November, and that's the slow period for them. So you figure if we recruit 8 people, about 4 will be going into the Sewer Authority, and another 4 will find other places for them that works with that career field. It's not a lot of, 18 to 30, it's pretty easy. It's like, they just gotta want it, you know, they gotta be ready to work hard, to learn a lot, to be challenged, be ready for some team building and teamwork and getting facilitated. And it's awesome. The guys who just finished, like, I miss them already. And they're awesome.
Oh that sounds amazing. And I imagine, that broad spectrum where you just mentioned 18 to 30 something,
Mhm.
there's a lot of room there for people who might be listening and going, I know I'm interested, or they might know someone who could be interested. So why don't you explain to our listeners a little bit about what credentials or what training they receive as part of this program?
Sure. They would get first aid, CPR. They would get their OSHA 10. Everyone gets that. If within that 8 months, we see someone who is showing leadership potential, like a crew leader, assistant crew leader, while they're still with the program, we would also find a way to bump up their pay. And they would also get OSHA 30 during that time. And the last certification would be NGICP, National Green Infrastructure Certification. That's 35 hours. Everyone would get it. They actually take the class at the Buffalo Sewer Authority alongside Buffalo Sewer Authority staff. I'm actually going to be sitting for that in January. I watched the other guys go through it, but I was like too busy running programs, so I couldn't sit in with them. But they get that certification, and that goes anywhere with them. Green infrastructure is a huge subject right now across the country. They're also introduced, now these aren't certifications, but they're introduced to various employers, institutions. We do a lot of service learning projects. I have to give a big shout out to Alex Wright at the African Heritage Food Co-op. He taught them so much about farming. They got a chance to really see a lot of the work that he does. So they helped him, but they learned a lot as well. And that also gives them an opportunity to do some serious networking. I'm huge on that. They all had notebooks. They had to make contacts, and they were responsible for asking questions and building relationships, because those relationships are going to help them way beyond me. So whether they decide to stay with the sewer authority, go somewhere else, you guys know that networking is crucial. So yeah, so that's some of the other stuff they'll be doing while they're with me.
I mean, I appreciate that response, because my next question was going to be, what are the other development aspects? But you kind of already dug into the part where, it's not just necessarily the sewer authority. The skills that you learn here transfer into all these other places. And like you mentioned, green infrastructure is a big topic in this country right now, and it has a lot to do with just our aging infrastructure and how do we how do we survive? Climate change is happening and things, it's just, it's all piling on top of each other. So I'm just wondering, do you have any other insights into what other kind of development aspects are part of this program?
Absolutely. So speaking, because social determinants of health is near and dear to my heart, That personal growth and professional development, I cannot stress enough. Like they're going out into the world, like workforce development really should address young people remembering that system issues have blocked a ton of opportunities for them, right? They have been neglected by our system, and a lot of times, a lot of times they have had to go through a lot of trauma. So if you don't deal with that while they're in a training program, they'll move on to the next level, still not prepared, and may not even be successful. So professional and personal development helps to fill the gaps where those opportunities have lacked. So we know there's a ton of barriers for them to gain self-sufficiency. So I like to look at a holistic approach for the crew members. So we look at SMART goals, active listening and effective communication, emotional intelligence, management styles, public speaking. We talk about positive mental shifts that encourages healthy habits. So even if it's like try to go to bed at the same time every night, give or take, because if you don't, it throws your system off whack. And then the next morning you're like, but I slept for 10 hours. Why am I tired? Well, because you slept 3 hours the night before. We talk about stress and how it impacts the body, diabetes and how you eat. And it just is so much anxiety. A lot of the guys, after they get comfortable, they start to share a lot. So they were actually supporting each other a great deal when it came to their own depression or their own anxieties, or depression and anxiety for people that they know, and how their family impacts them while they're in this program. So we deal with all of that. So by the time they leave, they're understanding how to advocate for themselves, how to advocate for each other, how to advocate for their friends. So imagine going into a new job. One of them called me last night and said he felt like he was starting school for the first time. And I said, yeah, but this time, it's not the teachers that know everything. You got a lot going on and they need you. So you walk in there like that. So that makes all the difference for them. So giving them that and all the team building, it's just, I feel like a proud mom.
Right. Like
that
this
whole
is
time.
like so on time. So, this is exciting. Like there has not been I've never been in a training program or ever heard of one or been a part of one that truly looked at a whole person.
Mhm.
I'm like excited because she allowed me from my bandwidth, from my specialty,
Mhm.
to be a part of that. So as it pertained to COVID, flu, just really how to navigate your own health. When you think about you're in a training program, it's not about just getting the job, but it's about setting and aligning everything around you to keep the job,
Yep.
maintain it, and maintain yourself, right? So
Mhm.
something as simple as bringing to them, have you had your primary care appointment?
Yep.
She was like, yeah, that's a part of it. And just
Mhm.
talking through those things fundamentally. I don't have a doctor. I don't have insurance. You shouldn't just be figuring out, like, I haven't seen a doctor in 2 years. I'm about to start a new job. And understanding how that impacts you. If you have a toothache that you need to fill, but you haven't filled it, but then you get the new job and then you're going to be calling off, and then that falls right into
Right.
your probationary period.
Right.
So I was just like blown away. I was like, you want to talk about that too? She's like, yes,
Yeah.
that's important. I want to dive all the way into it. And I want to give them that 8 months really to grow and have some mistakes,
Right. Right.
without being punitive to them. So, again, I hope you got your notepads. I hope you are taking notes. So if you are ready, we are approaching a new year.
Yep.
And you're saying, I want to be much better, like as a person, not just finding the perfect job, but it's amazing that our community has something in place like that right now to offer in addressing those social determinants of health. Oh man, like this is exciting. If you are looking for a new opportunity, you thinking about it, how soon do you start? Your classes start in March?
Yep, the classes start in March, but you figure it's December. It's going to be here so fast. So I am looking for folks who are interested in participating in the program. They can call me. I'll leave my number. They can email. Yeah, I'm ready. But also we're looking for a crew leader. So the crew leader, I'm the director, so I'm off busy doing this kind of stuff and looking at grants and going to meetings and all that. But the crew leader is the person who's really going to be boots on the ground with these guys. He needs to have a passion, or she needs to have a passion for workforce development, as well as some experience. Doesn't have to be stormwater maintenance because that's so new, but construction or landscaping of any kind, horticulture, just if they've had some experience running crews, day-to-day operations, and they're ready to be out here with these young men and women, driving a van, getting out here in the community, making some connections. It's a really good opportunity. It really is. So I'm also looking for that person.
You heard it here on Reach Talk. Looking for a new opportunity. She's looking for a crew leader, and she's also looking for the phenomenal 8.
Yes, okay. Phenomenal 8.
The phenomenal 8
yes.
that are ready. And she also said, if you like your nails done and, lashes, don't you be worried about this. You can do this. You can do this. Don't be afraid.
Gloves are for.
What happened?
That's what gloves are for.
And we have gloves. And that's another thing.
We have gloves.
We will get you your gloves. We will get you your pants. We'll get you your vest. You get some really cool gear from the BSA and Heart of the City. So you don't have to worry about your work gear. These guys did not pay for their work gear. We take care of their transportation the first month because we know like that transition is tough. Since they're enrolled as an AmeriCorps member, they get an education award when they're done. It's just so much. It's hard to get trained and paid at the same time. It's just, yeah, when I think about building this program, I think about my sons and everything that they couldn't find when I was trying to find stuff for them. So that's why I feel like a mom and I told my son the other day, I'm like, I'm building this program around me as a mom when I was helping you trying to find stuff to do in the community. So.
I know we didn't touch on, but I know you shared like some of your partners, but I want you to also just share that this is a great opportunity for organizations who are looking to be a part of that network that you expose your crew members to, and really serving the community overall. Just give up requests. We're looking for them. That you're looking for them.
So Monday through Thursday, they're out in the field doing the green infrastructure, down and dirty work. On Fridays, that's my favorite day because I'm such a social person. Fridays, we will do community service stuff. So to save money, I might say, you know what? If the Tiff Nature Reserve or Botanical Gardens or some agency in our community needs some hands and feet to get some grunt work done and they don't have people, like, okay, we'll come and do that for you, but can you give us free tickets so that they can get a tour, right? That was really helpful because we were able to go places and do field trips. So they can learn and do things in the community, but we didn't have to pay because they had already put in their sweat equity, right? Martha Mitchell Community Center was an amazing partner. I think we served 3,400 meals because that's an important part of what we do. And they didn't realize how many hungry people are at Buffalo. Like, to me, it's like, how do you not know? But community integration is one of the social determinants of health. Like, if you don't know your community and if you're not out there really being a part of it, then there's something lacking. So for them to serve with Lincoln Memorial, United Methodist, they serve with Martha Mitchell, like I said, Alex. The tool lending library actually lent us tools because we were low on tools. Oh my gosh, we're looking for folks to help just expand their minds. Like if you are someone and you want to kind of get your practice on. So if you are into public speaking and you want to come and work with them, Ebony came out, I don't know how many times you come out and helped out with flu information, COVID information. We had some very rousing discussions because some of the guys didn't want to get COVID vaccinated, right? But it was a good opportunity for them to hear why and teach them to listen to folks. And just because you don't respect and agree with what they're saying, you can, well, sorry, not respect. You don't agree with what they're saying, but you can respect who they are. Ebony wound up being one of their favorite people. Miss Ebony wants us to go do something. Okay, we're gonna go do it. We went, we were on Hudson Street.
Correct.
What was that? That was
that was at Hudson. It was a local community church that they came to serve and do early Thanksgiving meals. And they served probably almost like close to 1,000.
And they had fun.
And they enjoyed it.
They really did. Like, you wouldn't think they would have, they had fun. They had a really, really good time. And I'm forgetting another place that we went to, but it was.
You were everywhere. Everywhere.
We went community access services. We passed out flyers for something for them. So when we're not doing that, we're doing the groundwork, with green infrastructure. So if there's somebody in the community who could use some hands and feet, and just want to meet a great group of guys and kind of get your message out there, and just so they know who you are, because these young people have a ton of friends. So if you want people who have a ton of young people friends to spread your message, and it's in line with social determinants and a healthy community, then you should give me a call.
This is amazing. Oh,
awesome. Samantha, we wrap it. If you got final thoughts, this has been a great show.
I do. Honestly, I'm in awe of what you were saying, that, you're thinking about a holistic view of this, because this is an amazing project overall. You gave an umbrella look at a lot of this. And for me, the part that hits me in the feels and hits me in the heart is the part where, you're looking at the individuals though, and you're asking them about, their physical health, but did you get your primary care, if you know about that? And then the anxiety and the trauma, what we don't know, is what people's been through before they come into the program. So this isn't just, here's a tool, here is the project, please go do it. There's that whole person, whole view, and, the project is sum of its parts, and you want the parts to be as whole and, healed as possible. So I really very, very much appreciate that. And so with that final thought, I really want to make sure that any of our listeners have the contact information for you, any other contact that or any other information that somebody might need to get a hold of you or get hold of the program and actually be a part of this.
Okay, I'm putting that in the chat box right now. Okay. That is my name, email, and direct phone number. Please, please, please reach out.
So as we are wrapping up this phenomenal show, for those of you who are looking for great opportunities for the new year, I just want to read off to you her number, 716-980-7661. Her name is Deirdre Wright. You can email her at d.wright@heartofthecity.org. So that's HOCN.org. Listen, this is a phenomenal opportunity. And as we say here, everything that we do as it pertains to COVID and flu and nutrition and diabetes and tobacco cessation in all of our areas and health advocacy as a whole is that we do it for ourselves, we do it for our families, and we do it for our community. I just want to thank you for being with us today, and I look forward to having a phenomenal new year. Be safe, everyone, and happy holidays.
Thank you.
Reach Buffalo, promoting a healthy community. Reach, racial and ethnic approaches to community health locally in Buffalo to reduce racial and ethnic health disparities and rates of chronic disease. We want to make a change by reducing exposure to tobacco in housing and work areas, by increasing access to nutritious foods, by creating a breastfeeding community, by increasing referrals to primary care and community health providers, and by implementing community work groups. Reach Buffalo will concentrate on Ferry Street itself, as well as a community that resides within 4 blocks to the north and south of the corridor in 5 zip code areas: 14208, 14209, 14211, 14213, and 14215 in Buffalo, New York, with disparities in rates of chronic disease. Get involved. Ferry area residents will have an opportunity to have a platform to voice their opinions, organize, and make decisions in these efforts. For more information, you can contact Ebony M. White, Community Outreach Coordinator, at 716-268-2954.